We begin tonight at 6 in Virginia Beach, where family and friends are gathering for Bellamy Gamboas' 40th birthday. The mother of 4 has been missing since July 1st.
13 News Now reporter Chanu Her is live in Virginia Beach, where loved ones are beginning a search and candlelight vigil any minute now. Chanu.
Well, that's right, guys. More and more people, friends and family are gathering here for this birthday party for Bellamy Gamboa. They're celebrating her 40th birthday, but also using this as a chance to continue spreading awareness about the search for Bellamy Gamboa. Now, she's been missing now, like you guys mentioned, for more than 2 weeks. She was last seen not far from here at her home on Diamond Springs Road. The FBI believes she may have been abducted and consider her disappearance suspicious. Her car was also found not that far from here a few days after she went missing. The family and friends say they will continue searching for her and they're not giving up.
We still continue to look for her until we find her. I mean, we're not going to give up. The Gamboa family, I have both my mother's side and my father's side here, so all of her family and friends will just continue to search.
All right, so they will eat and pray here in a little bit, and then after that, get going with the candlelight vigil. And as far as this investigation goes, right now, Virginia Beach Police is still the lead agency on this case. If you know anything, you're asked to call police. Live in Virginia Beach, Chanu Her, 13 News Now.
Right now, trial is underway for former Portsmouth City Council member Mark Whitacre. He's facing 20 charges, including identity theft and fraud. Most of them stem from a development project spearheaded by New Bethel Baptist Church. The church needed $35,000 that prosecutors say Whitacre came up with by forging checks and using fraudulent loans. Whitacre's father, James, was the last witness today. He said any church board members had permission to use his signature, regardless of who signed it. Defense attorneys say there's no proof of wrongdoing. Court is set to convene tomorrow morning at 9.
New information out of Newport News tonight. Police have arrested a suspect in connection with a homicide from February. We are told Jamari Saunders Lewis is facing a number of charges, including first-degree murder. Investigators say he shot and killed 24-year-old Devin Bowles back on February 20th of this year. Officers found Bowles shot several times on Lassiter Drive that day. He died on the scene.
Developing right now, state and federal agencies are working to figure out what caused a deadly boat crash over the weekend. Crews pulled the bodies of 2 men from the James River this morning. 13 News Now reporter Nico Clemens looks at what we know about the crash.
Tonight, the search for 2 missing boaters from Emporia is over. Their families now desperate for answers.
It's been a very long, short weekend.
Newport News firefighters pulled the bodies of Leroy Parker and Robert Coleman out of the James River this morning. The 2 men disappeared after their boat crashed with an oyster barge Saturday morning. 13 News Now spoke with the family of one of the men over the weekend. They told us the men were good friends. They were out fishing with 4 other people, something they did often.
It will set some closure in, at least to the families.
Divers found the first body in the water in the area of the Victory Landing Park. The second, not too far away. Deputy Fire Chief Kenneth Lay says when they found the 2 men, they did not have on life jackets.
When you have people on your boat that are not very strong swimmers, and they don't have life preservers on, you know, that's just a challenge in itself.
Saturday's accident is the 3rd water-related incident in Newport News in less than a month.
I brought up the other boating accidents to Chief Lay, one from June 25th and the other just days later on June 28th. Fortunately, in each accident, those on board made it out alive. Chief Lay says now is the time to stress safety on the water.
And for this time of year, if you're going to be on the water, you need to make sure that you're safe.
Virginia Marine Police and the U.S. Coast Guard are now investigating this accident and hope to answer many questions. In Newport News, Nico Clemens, 13 News Now.
We want to get to some breaking news right here. The Norfolk-based aircraft carrier USS Harry S. Truman is coming home months earlier than it was supposed to.
The Navy telling us the ship will be back in the next couple of days. 13 News Now reporter Robert Boyd is live at Naval Station Norfolk tonight. Robert.
Regina and David, I'm standing next to Admiral Christopher Grady. And tell us, Admiral, how unique is this announcement that the USS Harry S. Truman is coming home earlier than expected?
Yes, Robert, this is unique, this is new, and it is indeed intentional. As you know, in this era of great power competition, the National Defense Strategy asks us directs us to be strategically predictable and operationally unpredictable. So the Harry S. Truman Carrier Strike Group and elements of that will be returning to Norfolk early as a demonstration of dynamic force employment that leverages the inherent mobility and flexibility of naval forces.
We know that the Secretary of Defense and President Trump have said this, that they want more unpredictability. How important is that for the Navy's overall mission?
I think it's very important for the Navy and for the entire joint force. We want to change the calculus of potential adversaries in this great power competition. And by being strategically predictable and operationally unpredictable, we do that. We operate at our timing and tempo when we want to go. And that's what dynamic force employment is all about.
And finally, can we expect this for future deployments? Is this kind of the new norm?
I don't know whether new norm is the right answer, but this is the way we think about things in an era of great power competition. So we may do it or we may not, but it'll be at our timing and tempo.
Thank you very much for your time, Admiral. We really appreciate it today. And we'll have much more from the Admiral coming up tonight at 11 o'clock. Live from the Fleet Forces Command, Robert Boyd, 13 News Now.
New information tonight in a crash we told you about last night on 13 News Now at 11. Virginia Beach police say a woman was driving an ice cream truck drunk when she crashed into another car. It happened around 6:30 yesterday evening on Sandbridge Road, not far from Bay Breeze Farms. 3 people were taken to a hospital. They are expected to be okay. Police say Elaine Durham was driving the truck and took off after the crash. Officers caught up with her not far away. She is charged with DWI and felony hit and run.
Right now, the video visitation system at the Virginia Beach jail is back up and running, and leaders at the jail are working on adding more ways for inmates to communicate with people. The video system went down in March because it was old and affected by lightning strikes. Since then, inmates have been given free 5-minute phone calls instead. Families we spoke to today say they're glad to finally have the video system working again, and officials at the jail say they are as well.
Our place is not to punish people. We'd like for people to have visits. We'd like for them to have contact with their loved ones and family.
We're told the jail is working on getting tablets for inmates to use for educational purposes and to connect with their families. Those should be coming in the next 2 to 3 months.
A heads up right now for anyone who lives near Fort Eustis. Crews there will be conducting aircraft crash exercises tomorrow. If you're going to be around the base, you may see or smell smoke. You might also see more emergency response vehicles. But it's all a drill. It is supposed to test the crew's ability to respond to and recover from an aircraft crash. Officials aren't saying exactly what time the drill will take place tomorrow.